Hey friends, Sadie Rob Huff here, and I'm so excited to talk to y'all about my next book that's called Next Step. I am so pumped about it, truly. I told my husband, I said, I think this is my favorite book project I've gotten to do. And he was a little offended because the last book project I did was with him, and this one was my favorite. But it's just been awesome. It's just been an overflow of what life has been. Essentially, the heart behind Next Step is I feel like so many people are so crippled by the fear of what the next step is and what the future looks like, what they're going to go into, what's next for them. And I actually had an experience recently when I was speaking at A&M that really changed me. I love to be prepared whenever I speak places. I like to over-prepare when I speak places. And in this particular one, it was just in a really busy season. So when I got there, I thought I was prepared, but halfway through the talk, I just forgot what I was going to say. That's never happened to me before. I just forgot. And I kind of just looked around and I just was like, okay, Lord, what do you want to say? And I was able to just really speak from the heart. Well, after that event, this pastor really spoke into me and she said, Sadie, that needs to be your new normal, just leaning into God and allowing him to show you the next step. And then she said, it's kind of like that verse, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And she said, when you think about lamps back in the day, or you think about like a light to your path, you think about lamps, you think about lights, you think about even in the story of the 10 virgins or 10 bridesmaids, they had lamps that light the way, or they had their oil lamp or whatever. And she's like, you think it's going to be this big thing, but actually they were very small. And she literally went on to order me one and send one to my house a couple weeks later. And when I got it in the mail, I was so impressed and surprised by how small it was. And the whole point and the shocking thing about it being so small is she said, really, when you say a lamp unto my feet, a light unto my path, it's just going to light up the next step. It's not going to light up the whole path. And it was just so inspiring and encouraging to me that that's how life's going to be. You got to lean in and let God lead you for the next step. No, you're never going to see what the whole path is going to be. You're not going to have vision for the years down the road all the time, but just trust him with the next step. And so that's essentially the heart of the book. We're going through the wisdom books of the Bible, which I'm so excited about because if you've heard my podcast, Whoa, That's Good podcast, the first question I ask all the guests is what's the best piece of advice they've ever been given? And the heart of asking that question is just to seek wisdom and value people's wisdom that they've given us. And so this is going to be the first of hopefully a series of books that are Whoa, That's Good books. This is going to be one on wisdom titled Next Steps. And that's kind of the heartbeat of it. I'm so excited. It's very spiritually, it's very spiritual. Of course, we have a lot of scripture with the wisdom books, but it's also super, super practical. We talk about very practical things in the book, which is kind of like, I guess, what my podcast is. We talk about really deep spiritual things, but also just really fun, practical things too. So it really is, like I said, an overflow of life right now. I've had so much fun working on it. I'm so excited. It's another picture book, lifestyle book. I think people are going to really resonate with it. And hopefully it helps people take that next step in their life with the wisdom that the Bible leads us in. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. And I hope that y'all love the book as well.